The heat clung to the air like punishment, the kind that didn't just make you sweat, but made your bones ache and your steering wheel feel like it had been forged in hell. Jasmine Carter, 34, was just trying to get home. Her skin shimmered with the sheen of the day's labor, her hands stiff from pouring coffee and balancing trays at Millie's Diner just outside Savannah, Georgia. She worked doubles every Thursday, the same as she had for years. Her old Civic's air conditioning was sputtering again, blowing warm gusts more than cold relief, but she was used to it. She was used to a lot of things: delayed bills, hand-me-downs, and telling her sons, maybe next time, when they asked for takeout. But what she wasn't used to was a cherry red Ferrari, parked sideways on the gravel shoulder of Route 162, its hood up and hazard lights blinking against the sun like a distress signal. As she slowed out of curiosity, she spotted him, a white guy in polished loafers and a too-crisp button-down, pacing in front of the car with his phone held high like it might summon divine intervention. He looked too put together for the South Georgia roadside, like a GQ model lost on the wrong page of the magazine. Jasmine thought about driving on. Her feet throbbed, her back ached, and her sister was already texting about the kids. Besides, men like him usually didn't look at women like her and expect help. But something in the way he paced, agitated, almost desperate, made her sigh and ease onto the shoulder. She rolled down her window. "You okay?" she asked, shielding her eyes from the glare. The man turned, startled. I think the battery's dead. No jumper cables. No signal either. GPS took me through the back roads, and now I'm late for a meeting." Jasmine eyed the car. It looked expensive enough to come with its own mechanic. Still, she threw the gear into park. "I got cables." "Pop the hood." He blinked at her. "You sure?" But she was already out of the car, tying her hair back into a puff with a worn scrunchie. Her shirt clung to her back. Her Skechers crunched against the gravel as she walked. "Car trouble doesn't care about income," she said, opening her trunk. "Battery's a battery." He gave a sheepish chuckle. "I'm Trevor, by the way." "Jasmine." He watched her, half amazed, as she pulled out the jumper cables and went to work. She moved with the confidence of someone who didn't need to think twice. Her father had taught her and her brother everything he knew about cars before they could reach the pedals. "You've really never jumped a car before?" she asked, eyeing him as she clamped the cables to her battery. "Never had to," he admitted. She smirked. "Y'all out here building tech empires and can't even charge a car." He rubbed the back of his neck. "Guilty." When the cables sparked and the Civic hummed to life, Jasmine gave him the nod. "Try it." Trevor climbed into the Ferrari, turned the key, and the engine choked, then roared back to life. He stepped out, elated. "You might have just saved my butt." "Stick to paved roads if your car costs more than a starter home," she said, already unclamping the cables. He reached into his wallet. "At least let me pay you." She paused, then shook her head. "Didn't stop for money." He held out some bills anyway. "Still, you helped." "I help people because it's right, not for tips," she replied, placing the cables back into the trunk. Her tone was firm, not rude like she'd rehearsed it before. Trevor lowered his hand slowly. "Okay," he said. "I respect that." "So," she asked, leaning against her car, "what's a guy like you doing out here anyway?" "Looking at land," he said. "Our company wants to expand out here. Tech offices. Quiet, cheaper." Took a wrong turn. She laughed. "Sounds like my cousin Darnell. Brains for days, but no sense of direction." He grinned. "Feels like the middle of nowhere." "Not to me," she said. "I grew up 2 exits from here. This is home." That landed differently. He glanced at her car, the fading paint, the taped-up passenger window, but it was running. And so was she. "You're good with cars." "You a mechanic too?" "Waitress at Millie's." "My daddy was the mechanic. Said I'd need to know one day." "Smart man." He was. There was a weight in her voice that said the story was deep, but she didn't elaborate. Trevor didn't push. "Where were you headed before saving me?" "To pick up my kids." "I'm late." He looked at her car again. "You've had a long day." "Try a long decade," she said with a half smile. He chuckled, but she added, "No offense, Trevor, but I don't think you get it." He didn't argue. Then his eyes caught something, her left hand. Not her chipped nails or scarred thumb, but the gold ring. Simple, worn. "You married?" he asked before he could stop himself. She exhaled. "Was. I see." A quiet fell between them. He tried to recover. "Sorry. I saw the ring and assumed. I still wear it, she said. For my boys. Helps them feel like he's still here. Helps me too sometimes. What happened? She took a sip from a half-empty water bottle and stared at the trees. He was a firefighter. There was a warehouse fire in Macon. Got folks out, went back in. Didn't come out. Trevor lowered his eyes. I'm sorry. I was pregnant with our youngest. Been doing it solo since. That's heavy. Yeah, life is. But the silence that followed wasn't awkward. It was real. Didn't expect this when I broke down, he said. What did you expect? Maybe a guy in overalls. She laughed. You got a waitress in Skechers and bills overdue. He grinned. Better story. It's not a story. It's Tuesday. She offered the water bottle. He took it, drank without words. Next time, she said, bring a map. GPS don't work if you don't have common sense. I'm learning, he said. People think money fixes everything. It don't jump batteries. It don't raise kids. It sure don't bring folks back. He looked at her not with pity, but respect. His phone buzzed. 1 bar. A reminder, 1:30 p.m. Land briefing. You can go, Jasmine said. Your car's fine. They can wait, he said. Not sure it matters anymore. Says the guy with a Ferrari. Lease, he said. Looks good. Not mine. Company thing. She raised an eyebrow. You look in the part, not live in it. Exactly. So quit. He laughed. Not that simple. No, it is. If it don't feel right, walk. He let that settle. You ever think of taking it off? The ring. All the time, she said. But I don't. Why not? Because it reminds me of who I was before everything got hard. And it helps my boys feel like he's still around. Does it hurt to wear it? Every day. Then why? Because love don't end just cause someone's gone. She turned away as the sun hit her face like a painting of survival. My dad left when I was 8, Trevor said suddenly. Said he needed to find himself. Never came back. She looked at him, surprised. Mom worked nights. I was home alone. Learned to cook by 9. Code by 11. Built my first app at 16. Made money before I knew what to do with it. I thought if I got rich enough, it wouldn't matter anymore. Still does, doesn't it? Yeah. You can't fill that kind of hole with money. I tried with strength. Same mask, different color. They stood in silence. A honk echoed from down the road. Jasmine's body shifted. Real life calling. A dusty van idled near the curve. A woman waved from the window. That's my sister, Jasmine said. Was supposed to drop off the boys. Guess she came looking. You should go. I should. But they're safe, so I can wait. Can I ask you something? When's the last time someone did something for you with no strings attached? She paused. Probably my husband. You talk about him like he's still here. Some days he is. And how my boys laugh. And how I fix things. He's there, just not where I can see. He sounds like a good man. The best. Trevor kicked at a rock. Can I tell you something I've never said aloud? I've made money most dream of, but I don't think I've ever made anyone proud. Not in the way that matters. You think money means more than legacy? I used to. Not anymore. My husband died saving people. No 401k. No house. But the ones he saved still talk about him. That's legacy. You ever think of writing a book? I write grocery lists and rent checks. You've got clarity. Nah. Just life. They watched the trees sway. Would you believe this is the best part of my week? He asked. Fancy car. Bad road. Jumper cable's your highlight. First real thing I've felt in a while. She understood. The van honked again. I really do gotta go, she said. Wait, Trevor said. Can I tell you one last thing? I'm supposed to scout land for a tech campus. But I don't want to. I want out. So go. No one would understand. I built a name. A life. And it ain't the one you want. Nope. Then change it. You're allowed. Want peace? Choose it. This right here is what I want more of. Realness. Then be one of those people. The rest'll come. Can we keep in touch? Why? Because I need people like you. I check email. No social. Works for me. She scribbled on a notepad and handed it over. Save it as the woman who told you the truth. Deal. And if I try to build over your cousin's hunting ground with robots, I'll find you. Just then, her son ran from the van. Mom, Uncle Day let us eat marshmallows for lunch. She laughed and scooped him up. Trevor watched, something shifting inside him. Who's that? The boy asked. Just someone whose car broke down. He rich. Not polite to ask. He don't look it. Good. Trevor laughed. I'm trying not to. You ready, baby? Yep. You need help with your car? Your mom already saved me. They started toward the van. Hey, Trevor, she called back. Yeah. If you ever build something, make sure it matters. Don't build just for profit. Build what makes you proud. He nodded slowly. I will. And if I forget, I've got this. He held up the note. She smiled, loaded her son into the van, and climbed into her Civic. It started on the first try. Trevor watched them disappear in a haze of dust. For a long time, he didn't move. Just stood there, a man no longer chasing. A man who, for the first time, was standing still, listening. Because sometimes the smallest detours reveal the biggest truths. Sometimes, strength isn't loud. Sometimes, it's just a woman with jumper cables, a ring that still fits, and a truth you didn't know you needed.